Welcome back, guys, to another Clash Royale video, and today we're going to be taking a look at a Goblin Barrel deck. As you can see right here, I've got a giant Goblin Barrel deck set up. Now, if you guys don't have the Princess, I would go ahead and use a Fireball or a Poison spell. That's what I would do if I didn't have the Princess. Or you can go ahead and use the 3 Elixir minions or the Minion Horde, and that'll give you another card to hopefully bait out your opponent's spells, and then go in with the Goblin Barrel. But let's go ahead here, take a look at some replays, and then we're going to finish off with a live battle. So here we are, guys, facing off against a level 9 in the Frozen Peak Arena. This is on my second account, by the way. Now, this opening exchange here doesn't really work out for me just because of my initial card rotation in this battle. He's going to go in with a Valkyrie Hog Rider push, but unfortunately both my cannon as well as my Zaspel are at the back of my card rotation. So take a look at what happens. Down go the Fire Spirits. Hog Rider has a free ride to my tower. Now, if I had the cannon in my starting card rotation, I could have used it to distract both the Hog Rider as well as the Valkyrie, and then I could have used the Zaspel to kill those Fire Spirits, and I probably wouldn't have taken any damage to my tower. But sometimes that's just how this game works. You don't really have the greatest starting hand, and you just kind of have to deal with it and adapt. Now right here, going to do a slow push with the Giant on the left hand side. Now obviously the strategy with this deck is to have the tower distracted by the Giant, and then go in with the Goblin Barrel to do some damage to that tower. Right here, going to go ahead and use the Princess to damage that pump. If I didn't have the Princess in this deck, I would be using a Fireball or a Poison, and I would probably use the Fireball or Poison on that pump as well as the tower and the Musketeer. But take a look at this, Giant going in there, tower is distracted, down goes my Goblin Barrel here. He's going to go ahead and use his Valkyrie. Now the Valkyrie is a decent counter to the Goblin Barrel, but in the end we actually do some decent damage to that tower, bring it all the way down to 1200 health. Princess is going to do some work for me there, damaging those Barbarians. Now I do have a bit of a counter push to worry about right here. Going to go ahead and use my Princess to counter the Barbs, and then use the cannon to distract the Valkyrie. Now that really isn't ideal because I do know he has the Hog Rider in his deck, and I want to try to save the cannon for the Hog Rider, but unfortunately I had no other option there to take out the Valkyrie, because the Valkyrie has a lot of health, has a fast attack speed, and does some decent damage. So I want to be able to take her out before she makes it to the tower. Right here, Zaspel going down to kill those goblins. Princess is going to do work for me on this tower. Now, one thing I do want to point out is my opponent doesn't have any spells in his deck, but I wanted to show you guys this replay anyways, just because I thought it was pretty entertaining, given how much we dominated this battle with the Giant Goblin Barrel strategy. Now, right here, Giant making his way in. I'm going to wait for the Giant to distract the tower, and then send in the Hog Rider, or sorry, send in the Goblin Barrel. Don't know why I said Hog Rider right there, but Goblin Barrel going down. As you can see, I do have the Zaspel hovering over it, but I ended up not using it on those Fire Spirits because I kind of thought that the Goblins had enough time to take out the tower, but I was wrong. But with 46 seconds left in this battle, I'm feeling pretty confident that I can go in there and finish off that remaining 200 health on the tower. Now right here, cannon distracting the Hog Rider, my Musketeer going to distract his Musketeer, Princess finishing it off, going to set up a counter push here with the Giant up front, and then once that tower is distracted, going to go ahead once again and use the Goblin Barrel, and take a look at this. Princess damaging the tower, Goblins going down there, giving me the 1 crown lead, dropping down a second Princess on the right hand side, going to use that Zaspel to kill those Goblins. Now the Zap Princess combo is pretty dirty, guys, but I am facing a higher level, so I think we're equal. Now right here, Barbarians coming in, Musketeer going to do some decent damage to them, going to go ahead and use the Goblins there just to protect the Musketeer, and also going to use the cannon to distract that Hog Rider. But with 6 seconds left, my opponent has no chance of coming back from this battle, and I will get that 1 crown victory. Let's go ahead to the next replay here. So here we are, guys, facing off against another level 9. Now my opponent here is actually using a minor Royal Giant strategy, and he also has 2 spells in his deck, so this battle should be a pretty good example as to how well this Giant Goblin Barrel strategy works out. Gonna go ahead and use my pump here in the middle, just because I'm fortunate enough to have it in my starting hand. Now he places down the minions way in the back there, which to me was a clear indicator that he might be using a minor strategy. So as soon as I see that, I was already mentally preparing for the minor, and here it comes. Gonna go ahead and use the Goblins there to pull everything into the middle, and also use that Zaspel, and in the end we don't actually take any damage to my tower, which is a really good thing. Now I'm gonna go ahead here and wait for this Princess to go up to the bridge, drop down a second pump in the bottom left corner there. Now you don't have to have the pump in this deck to make it work. If you don't want to use the pump, I would suggest maybe using a Valkyrie, and that'll give you some more defensive options, because right here, for example, I don't have anything good to take out the support card of the Wizard. If I had the Valkyrie, I could go ahead and use the Valkyrie in the back there to take out the Wizard, but unfortunately I was forced to use the Musketeer, which wasn't even enough, and I also had to use the Zaspel as well as the Goblin, so not really an efficient use of Elixir right there, and that's why I said you might want to use the Valkyrie instead of the pump, and that'll give you some more defensive options. Now once again here, the Princess marching away up on the right hand side. I'm going to sit back and just build up the Elixir and see what he drops to counter this princess. He ends up dropping down the knight, and I'm going to go ahead and use the musketeer to not only destruct the knight, but take him out before it makes it to my tower. And once the knight dies, I'm going to go ahead and start building up a counter push. Never mind, I'm going to go ahead and use a pump in the middle there, and just let that musketeer cross the bridge, and hopefully get some damage to the tower. But in the end, he drops down the miner. Going to go ahead and use the goblins there. And this is really important, guys, because I saved both of my towers from any miner damage. But he's going to go ahead and use the fireball to damage both pumps as well as my crown tower and my king tower. Now, normally activating the king tower early in the battle is a really bad decision, but he's using a royal giant deck, so he doesn't really care because the royal giant is never within range of the king tower. Now, right here, princess damaging that tower. He drops on the barbarians, which I don't really have an efficient answer for. So take a look at how I improvise with the musketeer, as well as the goblins in the back to protect the musketeer. Now, the reason I want to protect the musketeer is because I want her alive to go back on a counter push, because right here, giant going down in front, setting up a pretty decent counter push. Now, I'm going to wait for a little bit of space to develop between the princess as well as the musketeer. Down goes the Goblin Barrel, getting a little bit of damage to that tower, bringing it all the way down to 800 health. Giant getting one more hit in, bringing it down to 647 health. Now, I've got a decent counter push to worry about right here, but fortunately the minions do go in front of the Royal Giant, allowing the musketeer to finish them off. And the Goblin's going down, and the Royal Giant doesn't even get one hit on my tower. Now, right here, Goblin's doing some damage to that tower. I'm going to go ahead and use the Zap Spell to give my Goblins a little bit more time to do some damage to that tower. And so far, his tower is all the way down to 227 health. But take a look at this huge counter push right here. Prince is coming in clutch for me, damaging all those barbarians, taking out the minions, musketeer damage to the barbarians as well. And in the end, he brings my tower all the way down to 740 health. But take a look at this clutch finish right here with the Zap Spell to stun the tower for a quick second, allowing the Goblins to give me a 1 crown victory. Let's go ahead here and do a live battle. So here we go, guys, facing up against a level 9. Give him the old good luck there. And do we have the pump in our starting hand? That's always a good thing. Now, if you guys try out this deck, go ahead and maybe use a Valkyrie instead of the pump, and let me know how it works for you. Because, like I said, it'll increase your defensive options. And I don't really have anything in this deck to go in behind and take out support troops. Like right here, I really wish I might have a Valkyrie, because I'm going to go ahead and use the Goblins, though. Maybe that'll be enough. He drops the free spell, very interesting. Let's go ahead and zap that. And hopefully, oh no, he'll get a hit off there, which is unfortunate. Really unfortunate, but we do have a pump down, so we are developing a bit of an elixir advantage. Now I'm gonna wait here, just kind of let this push die out, and we'll see what he does here. I don't want to place the pump down just yet. Actually, let's go ahead and do it, and then use the cannon here to take out this musketeer. I don't want her getting any damage to our tower because she does a lot of damage actually by herself. And just playing it safe, he has the mini P.E.K.K.A. He's got the Ice Wizard as well as the mini P.E.K.K.A. Let's go in here with a slow giant push, hopefully to soak up that Dark Prince damage. Maybe I placed it a bit too far back. Let's go ahead and use that. Stun that, and then wait for them to both target the tower. Use that. Actually, ooh, that free spell again, I totally forgot about that. Taking some damage there, guys. Now, if this was the double elixir period, I could probably go ahead and use, like, let's use a second giant. Just be stupidly aggressive. He's probably going to use a mini P.E.K.K.A. to kill both of them. If I was him, though, I would use the mini P.E.K.K.A. behind to kill the musketeer first. Yes, thank you. Can we zap that? Nope. Unfortunately, but we had 2 giants in the tower. Not too bad. They're probably going to do some decent damage for me. There we go. Thank you. Now, let's go ahead and use our cannon here to distract this Dark Prince, as well as the musketeer. Now, I haven't seen any big spells yet, I don't think, from him that he could use to kill my tower. Let's go ahead and use the pump as a distraction, as well as some goblins, and a cannon as well. Now, thank you, goblins, for distracting that mini P.E.K.K.A. Very nice. Let's go ahead and use that. Musketeers should be able to trade. We're going to zap this. Ooh, that was... Give him the good old oops there, because that was a mistake. Pump to distract. Not ideal anymore. The pump doesn't have a lot of health at all. Costs 5 elixir, so not really ideal. But given that there's only 20 seconds left in this battle, guys, I don't see any other option. I'm just going to defend up here. Drop down a giant to soak up this damage. Zap all of this. And use the goblins right here. And I think we're going to hold up for the 1 crown there. Give them a good game. Anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help me out. But thank you again, guys, for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.